I'm greenlycan and welcome to my review of Strayed Lights. Strayed Lights is the first game from Embers, which is a new studio. It's their debut into game development and I actually think it's a really good game. The idea of this game is you play as a light trying to ascend above what you are and save everyone else. It's a really good game. You have the colours red and blue, which you switch back and forth between, where you can defend against attacks or you can attack your opponents. So with the combat, you absorb energy of your opponents with familiar but innovative and challenging combat system. It basically is a kind of system where you have two colours, you can select red and blue, you switch back and forward as you're fighting. If your enemy turns into a red colour, you turn into red, and if you successfully parry their attack, you'll not only heal, but you'll also fill up the bar at the bottom, which allows you to finish them off. If you're the wrong colour, you'll still block damage, but you won't do damage to them, and you won't heal. A little bit later on in the game, it does throw in a few extra little things, which I'm not going to mention because I don't want to spoil it, but it makes the gameplay very interesting, and it continues to make the combat more challenging as time goes by. As you progress through your journey, you unlock new abilities and you progress towards awakening, which is where you ascend. You see your character grow from newborn into an ascended being. The world is a really well designed world, to be fair. You travel through like forest areas, misty valleys, broken cities, dark caves, and you're searching for relics to reveal the history of the lands. It has a nice soundtrack, so it kind of captures the way it is. I think the soundtrack's by Austin Wintory. The opponents and enemies in the game vary as you travel through. There's different types of opponents or enemies that have different types of attacks. You have to kind of learn the way that your opponents attack to be able to essentially predict what they're going to do next, so that you can either get out of the way by dodging, attack them, or, guard and parry. I personally found that attacking in the game didn't feel like it kind of had any kind of effect. You did hurt the opponent and you filled your bar a little bit faster when you attacked, but most of the time attacks opened me up to getting attacked by opponents where I couldn't guard on time or wasn't concentrating enough. So I would say that if you play through this game, it's best to go through with a defensive mindset instead and using your special abilities as and when you can. As for the story and the way that it introduces you into the game, it kind of introduces new mechanics as you're going through a tutorial based story at the start. It doesn't tell you what to do after that. Once you get into the main section after the tutorial, it's basically figure out where the hell to go and do the things yourself, pretty much. It doesn't guide you, it doesn't handhold, it just chucks you in and says figure it out, and you run off in different directions and find things. There's extra things that I found by looking around the main starting area, which I would definitely suggest, and it kind of unlocks some images essentially that were kind of an idea of what the story was about, and kind of try to portray the story in these images, which are things that you could miss if you didn't really look around. I found the movement, the combat, running and jumping to be very fluid, very easy. There was no issues with that at all. I enjoyed the way the movement worked in the game, the way that the combat system works, and even traversing in general. It's really well designed, really well done. And for a studio that this is their first outing, this is the first game they've actually released, I think it's a really good game. It's a really well designed game, free of bugs and glitches and things like that. Embers is a France-based game studio. They say they're committed to creating quality, original and innovative experiences, and it really does show with this game. For a first outing, it is really well made, really well designed, and the fact that it's bug free, for me at least, it's just a pleasure to play it. I'm going to say this, Damien Desagny, I don't know. I'm sorry if I butchered that. He's the CEO of Embers, and he said, "We had an incredible experience developing Strayed Lights. It was a long-lasting dream becoming a reality. We put our hearts and soul into this, and everyone at Embers is extremely proud of the outcome." So that's what he said about it. Personally, I can say they should be proud of the outcome because it is really well made. And I know I keep saying that, but it is really well made. So if you enjoy this type of game and you want a new experience, then definitely go and get it, play the game, give it a go, see what you think. by all means check out other reviews and stuff online if you need to, but I think you should just go for it, jump in. It's not an expensive game, it's a good price at the moment, and there are sales going on over the next week or two on Steam. I don't have the information in front of me right now, which is so unprofessional, but there's some sales going on at the start of June from like the 5th to the 11th or something on Steam, and Xbox has sales as well. I'm sure there's sales other places as well, but I just don't have the information here, which I really should have, but I don't have the time. So get out there, give it a go, and see what you think. But whether you want to wait for the sales or you want to jump into it now, I have an affiliate link down in the description below. So go click on that, go get the game, try it out, see what you think about it. And I really do hope you enjoy the game as much as I did. And I definitely cannot wait for another game by Embers, because I'm definitely looking forward to whatever they come out with next, or whatever project they're going to be working on next. Because it's great to see a new developer come out with a really good, strong game like this. It's definitely worth playing. So the game is developed and published by Embers. It came out on the 25th of April. It's on PC, Steam, Epic Games Store, Good Old Games. It's on PS5 and 4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. I think I'd say this game had maybe 5 to 7 hours of gameplay. I lost track of time. At the same time as actually playing Stray Lights, I was doing the Lord of the Rings Gollum review. I took a week to do the Lord of the Rings Gollum review because I was too busy playing Stray Lights every day, because I just had to get back onto it. It's one of those games that you play and you just want to go back to it, you want to carry on. There's no narrative, there's no voices, but the story is very clear throughout the game, and it just kept me interested, and I just kept going back to it. Every time I sat down at my computer to boot up something, I just went back to Stray Lights. So I can definitely recommend this game. If you like non-narrative, story-based kind of things, then this is definitely for you. If you enjoy games that are kind of different and new, with new ideas, Stray Lights is definitely good for you. I can honestly say, like, it was a fun experience. It felt like it was too short, but for the first outing for this developer, it's a really good game, and you can tell they put a lot of time into it. I personally didn't come across bugs or glitches, so apart from occasionally trying to block an attack and feeling as though you pressed the button on time, though apparently you didn't, I don't think there's a problem with that system. I think it's more the fact that some attacks it's not clear when they're about to hit you, so it's just judgment. So it's probably my fault anyway. But yeah, I can definitely recommend this game. You would absolutely love it. You play through it, you'll enjoy the game, you'll enjoy the experience, and it's definitely worth it. And Embers is definitely a game studio to keep an eye out on for any future releases. But of course, I want to hear what you have to say about this, so get down in the comments, let me know what you think of the game, let me know if you're going to play it or if you have played it already. Probably a lot of people have played it by now, to be fair, because I'm a little bit late for this. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, like, comment, and I'll see you in the next one.